Hello. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're doing all right. Market was down a bit today, but it's had a decent week compared to before, so that's good. If you didn't hear, the president signed the stimulus bill, so your parents will be getting some money soon, and hopefully that will help stem some of this and create some more confidence in the markets and so on. So there we go. All right, today I want to finish up this last part of this section, and then, if we have time, post a little bit about the test coming up that I'm going to post on Wednesday again. That will be due by Friday. A little quiz, and then also a review, which I mentioned as well. So anyway, yesterday we talked about surpluses, how they were created, what they looked like, and how they were fixed. If you have any questions, just let me know. Because today we're going to talk about shortages, which is just the opposite. So we'll go back to our graph here. Here's a regular graph. Okay, if you need to do this again. Sorry. So anyway, think about shortages. They're not as common. I mean, surpluses are way more common. You think about, we have shortages now because people are crazy about toilet paper and all that stuff. But typically, surpluses are more likely to happen. Okay, so let's go back to our example, talking about a sweater. And so I've set the price here. Now, keep in mind, when a business is setting the price, they have no idea what people will pay, and we'll get to this, like I said. So let's say he decides to set the price at $10. Okay, so again, to measure how this goes, you simply go across here, and right there is where it crosses the supply line. So you pull that down, and that's how many he puts out. So let's say he only puts out 20 sweaters. Okay? But pull across all the way across here to the D curve, pull that down. Let's say that's 80 people. Okay? So 80 people, this is your QD, are looking to buy only 20 sweaters. Okay? So he opens the store up that morning. What happens? 80 people, 20 sweaters. Picture Black Friday. And, I'm going to get them at MTV. There they are. Picture this, the day that the virus news hit that was bad. These people coming in to get this amount of toilet paper. Okay? So this is, as you might guess, a shortage. And a shortage is simply where QD, quantity demanded, is greater than quantity supplied, amount on the shelf. And there's your definition, if you will. Okay? Now, when do shortages happen? Shortages tend to happen with weather. Think about, there's going to be 8 inches of snow tonight. People go to the store and they buy milk and bread and stuff like that. Or they'll buy salt for their driveway or whatever. Hurricanes tend to create shortages of water and things like that. And I don't know if you want to call this virus a disaster, but it's the same basic thing, is that people are having this perception that things are bad, so they stock up on, well, some of you have probably been to the store. If not, you've seen pictures. If not, you should probably look them up and see how ridiculous this is. I've been to the store 3 times, and none of those times have I seen even one roll of toilet paper on the shelf. So what are you going to do? So anyway, that's shortage. Usually rare. It's common right now, but it's not usually common. Okay, maybe picture Christmas, where you've got that toy that every kid wants. The oh gosh, what would it be for you guys? Zuzu Pets, remember those? Cabbage Patch Kids, Tickle Me Elmo. Was one where they had some shortages because people, went crazy over them, and then that tends to create shortages. Okay, so that's a shortage created, again, normally by weird situations, disasters, sometimes Christmas, things like that. Okay, so like we did with the other, how do you fix it? If you're this guy, and this is easier said than done, but to fix it, the first thing he's going to do is he raises his price. Okay, so let's say he raises the price to 20. But as he raises the price, if you see me pull this across here, he goes and gets more out of the back and puts more on the shelf, so he increases his quantity supplied because he wants to sell more because it's higher price. Okay? So, pull across and pull down to QD, you see that now you've got less people want to buy it because the price went up. Like, well, I'd buy it at 10, but I'm not going to buy it at 20. Maybe because it's too expensive, maybe because they didn't like the idea of him raising his price. Either way, you see there's still a gap, but it's gotten smaller. And if I raise it again, to there, you see that gap and so on. Okay? So, what a shortage looks like, how it's created, I told you, and that's how you fix it. Okay? All right, we move on then. The last thing we're going to do, if you turn the page to your next page on the outline, where it says union or something like that, I forget how I worded it. Now finally union is here, right at the top of page 4. Okay? Is where we are. And here we're talking about E. And E stands for equilibrium. Equilibrium. Okay. Is our E. This point right there. Okay. Now, is that a good place to be? It kind of depends. Don't always think of equilibrium as this magic, holy grail place, because you don't know if it's good or not. You don't even know when you get it. If you're talking about Walmart selling toilet paper, they have no idea how much price is being paid all over the country at any given second. You got to think about this as a point in time. Now, if you're selling, forgive me, but if you're selling marijuana and you say, hey man, you want to buy a joint, and the guy says, okay, how much? And you say $12, and he says, nope, I'll pay 10. And then you say, how about 11? He says, okay, then $11 and one joint is your equilibrium. Helps to know that because, well, if the guy says no to 12 and he says 8, and you say, how about 11? He says 8. And you say, how about 10? He says 8. You know that he's not going to pay that much. So his demand is pretty elastic. Remember this. Pretty elastic because price is a big deal to him. So the next time you go to try to sell to the next person, you might say, how about 10? But if you say, how about 12? And he says, yes. Oh yeah. Either he's really needing that pot or you're charging too little. So the next guy you say 15 because his demand is more inelastic because price isn't as big a deal to him. So think about how these concepts work together. Okay. But for big time things, anything at Walmart, anything at Meijer, they're not going to really have an idea. So to answer if this is a good place to be or not, let's look at an example of, and this is something that we're not doing now because we're all shut down. Let's say that we're looking at movie theaters. Okay, and I'm going to guess most of you go to the exit to go watch movies. Okay, so I'm going to pretend, and I think you guys pay probably a little less. I pay a little more because I'm old. You guys probably pay around $10 a ticket. The average person probably pays about $10. Let's just make it easy. Okay, so on a typical night, let's say, and I've done a little research into this, at that theater, on a typical Friday night, let's say 4,000 people go to that theater. Okay, so $10, you got 4,000 people, which gives you a revenue of $40,000 in tickets. Okay, does that make sense? That's just showing you a quick little problem. Now, the question is, should the theater manager, Bill Goodrich, raise his price? Let's say he says, what happens if I raise to $11? Law of demand tells you what will happen. The law of demand tells you that QD will drop because some people won't go, at least once they find out. Probably not too many, but some won't go because they can go where? They can go to 96, they can go to Mounds, I guess. They can stay home and watch Netflix. They can go, if it's nice weather, they can go to Topgolf, or they can go play carpet golf or whatever kind of stuff. Lots of competition for that dollar. But So let's say that when he raises the price to 11, let's just make it simple. Let's say 200 less people show up in a month or so, okay, on a Friday night. Now, does it make sense for him to raise his price? He's going to have less people, but he's going to make, I think this is right, check my math if you want to, more money. Okay, so the revenue at 11 is greater than the revenue at 10, so he should raise his price because he's making more money. Even if you factor in things like, how else does that theater make money? They sell concessions. They've got games. They've got that bar where they sell beer and wine on tap, which that guy's voice, I'm sure you've heard it, it's horrible. But they have other ways to make money. So if they can make, add all that in, whichever one of those has the highest revenue, that's where you go. So if he raises it to 11, if he raises it to 12, or if he lowers it, let's say he lowers it down to 5. If he can get 9,000 people, which is not going to happen, at $5, then he's going to make more money there. Okay? So when you think about companies, just in general, forget about movies for a second. Think about companies that sell at high prices and they don't sell a lot. Okay? Rolls-Royce, Saks Fifth Avenue, Tiffany. And when you think about companies that sell a lot at low prices, Chevrolet, Walmart, Dollar Tree, Claire's, I guess, K Jewelers somewhat. And then think about companies in the middle. That's more like Toyota and Honda and Ford and Target and Kohl's and things like that. So the point is there are plenty of places to be. It's just a matter of where you maximize your profit. And that's the key I want you to learn here. How do you maximize profit? For Rolls-Royce, it's selling a few at a high price. If they lower their price, the people that are willing to pay a high price probably aren't going to buy it, because then every other boring poor guy on the street's going to have one. They want to have it because nobody else has it. Here, if they raise their price, they'll sell less, but they probably will lose quite a bit because a lot of people here worry about price because they're poor, or they don't want to spend a lot of money, or whatever it is. Okay, so either way, the goal is to maximize profit. If you maximize it at equilibrium, great. If you maximize it up here where you've got surplus, or down here where you've got shortage, in some ways, you've got the goal is to make the most money. Okay, and that is the point of equilibrium. Okay, hope that helps. If you have any questions, like I said, just let me know. This quiz, I've decided I'm going to leave out surplus and shortage for right now. I told you I want to chunk it in smaller bits, but you're going to be responsible for everything we've done, even before break, up until what I just did, except for surplus and shortage. Okay. Mm-hmm. The review is going to be a fairly small part of this stuff, and then the quiz is going to be some more part of it. If you have any further questions, you just got to let me know. Okay. Otherwise, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. I'm also going to send you a little thing about sort of giving me a couple little writing assignments that have to do with the quarantine, the virus, stocks and stuff as it relates to economics. Okay? Have a good evening. Bye.